Hey there, Kingsley here. Thanks for being here with me as we discuss this topic of the six sacred things every husband wish their wife knew about them. So, if you're a husband and you're curious to see what this list consists of, then I want to hear from you at the end of this broadcast what your thoughts are, and would you have added anything to the list as I have outlined? So make sure you comment in the section provided with your feedback, because primarily this broadcast, this video, is for your wife, is for wives in general. So I'm going to be speaking to the wife in this presentation. The next one, I'll be speaking to you, husband, but I think you may want to listen to this as well, as any wife should listen to this video broadcast. Now, so again, if you're a wife and you're just curious about what goes through your husband's mind, you're in the right place. And I'd also like to hear from you as to your thoughts on this topic at some point through this list that I'm going to go through. As you hear them, I would love to hear your comment as well. Now, this video is primarily for you, Mrs. Wifey, and it includes some powerful insights that I believe will help improve your relationship and connect you with your husband on a deeper level. Now, as I mentioned before, don't worry, your turn will come. The next video will be focused on the husband, about which he would know about you. So, hang in there. We'll get around to that. Now, these secrets that I'll be sharing are important because I believe they're crucial for a healthy and happy marriage. So sit back and relax and get ready to learn what I believe the six things every husband wishes their wife knew. Now, if you're new to this channel and wondering who am I to be speaking on topics like this one, let me just say that I'm Kingsley Grant, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified relationship coach. And I help couples make marriages happier again. Simple as that. Now, yeah, I know it's not as simple as it sounds, but it's what I end up, my focus is, and what I do help couples with. Now, having counseled and coached hundreds of couples over the past several years, and having been married for more than 3 decades, almost 4 decades, I think I'm more than qualified to talk about topics like this one and others with confidence, which I hope you'll appreciate as I bring both a personal touch and a professional touch to a broadcast like this one. Now, let me also recommend that you listen to my podcast at Happier Marriage Secrets, happiermarriagesecrets.com/podcast. And, you can also read the blogs at that website as well that covers topics, as I mentioned before, that are similar to this one as well. Now, at the end of this video, I'll share with you how to get access. Let's dive into today's topic: six secret things every husband wish their wife knew. Now, by the way, if you would like to get an instant feedback on the state of your marriage, what to do about it, then you need to take the Happier Marriage Assessment Quiz. And you can do that in less than 90 seconds. You'll have your score immediately. You will then be given an immediate access to a downloadable PDF that explains what your score means. Now, if this interests you, you can take that short quiz at happiermarriagesecrets.com/quiz, and the links will be in the description that follows this video. So what are the 6 secret things every husband wish their wife knew? Now, that's a question, and this video will provide you with the answers. Now, I want to just say this as a preface. Most husbands, I believe, love their wives a lot. But it's hard for them to somehow explain how much. And here's the reason why. I believe we don't do well in communicating our feelings, as you, Mrs. Wifey, may have found out. But we truly want you to know, I want you to get to know us well and understand us deeply. Your husband wants you to get to know him well and understand him deeply. And you're going to see that in a few moments why I'm making that statement so broadly and so confidently. Now, there are 6 important things that I think your husband wants you to know so you can keep loving, cherishing, and respecting him. And he will reciprocate in like manner And when I talk about that next time, you'll hear why I say that as well. Now, pardon me if I sound a little bit biased as a husband myself, just being transparent, but I make sure we hear your heart, as I mentioned in the next broadcast. So stay tuned for that, but give us a chance to truly kind of talk about the things that we wish you know about us as a husband. Now, as a matter of fact, now might be a good time to click the subscribe button and the notification bell, so you'll be reminded when it is released. And so go ahead and do that now. Just pause the video if you need to and click on that link. And so should you, Mr. Husband. You should also do the same. Click on that subscribe link and the notification bell right now. Go ahead and do that. I'll wait a second for you. Hit pause, do that, and come right back. Here we go. Now, what's the first thing I have on my list? Your husband wants you to be happy. Yes, you heard me. He said, Kingsley, come on. Are you serious? What I'm going through? My husband wants me to be happy? Yes. Secretly, your husband wants you to be happy. I mean, he wants to have a relationship where he hears your laughter. He hears, he just sees you light up. He sees you just kind of relaxed and feeling refreshed and energized. It really fills us. It does something to our souls. Now, again, we don't do a good job, and I apologize. We don't do a good job in talking about that and sharing how we feel, but it truly does something to our soul to see our wives just actually just brightens up and smile and is in a laughter mood. And as you've heard the statement many times, when your wife is happy or your mom is happy, everybody's happy, right? So let's set the tone for what happens in the household. So he truly wants you to be happy. He does. Now, he may be awkward in how he goes about doing it. He may not be the best. We're not the best at communicating what that looks like. We know what it looks like. We know when we see it. And here's a problem. When we do see it, sometimes we don't let you know. So you can actually do more of that. But we want to see that. We want you to be happy. So your husband wants you to be happy. That's one of the things he wants you to know. The second thing he wants you to know is this. He wants you to take care of yourself. He truly wants you to take care of yourself in every aspect, physically, mentally, emotionally, for some spiritually and relationally. He truly wants you to do self-care. It does his heart well when he sees that you're presenting in a way that is attractive to him. And so if you were a person that were very focused on your health, your physical health, he wants you to be in shape. He wants you to dress nicely. He doesn't want you to be dressing like grandma, right? Having grandma dresses on and so on, underwear. He wants you to be dressed in a way that makes him feel, we're very visual, makes him feel, he feels attracted towards you. And you say, well, that's kind of shallow, isn't it? That kind of so shallow. Well, call it what you call it, whatever you want to call it. It's something about how we are wired as men, as husbands, that it means something to us when we see our wives are taking care of themselves, are doing self-care, maybe taking time for manicure, pedicure, maybe doing their hair every so often. Maybe it's just getting some new clothes or, new underwear, new underclothes, just those things. It may seem simple or just kind of shallow to you, but trust me, your husband wants you to take care of yourself, right? Because it brings, it just kind of rejuvenates and energizes him and turns him on. Truly, it does when he sees that in you, right? He wants you to indulge in that pleasurable aspect of things. Not all the time, but I believe most of the time. I mean, if you're a person that, at a certain time you were, of course, he doesn't expect you to be the same as you always were, especially if you have children. He understands that. But at least he wants to see you making an effort to keep yourself in good shape. He wants to see you making an effort to dress, in a way that is sometimes sexy or sensual. He wants that. It does him well. Where would you rather him go? Outside or some other places, or online, or come to you? So you can help him in this regards. And he wants to see you take care of yourself. Number 3, he wants you to know that he has feelings too. I did a video before, and if you've not watched it yet, you want to go back and see that Your husband has feelings too. And I put a link below for that video. And actually, you'll see as well on at the end of this video, you'll see it pop up as when you can click on and watch that as well. But he wants you to know that he has feelings too, right? He does feel pain. He does feel sorry. He does feel sadness. He does feel scared at times. But again, we just try to put on this front. We're being conditioned and being programmed and being taught that we should not sometimes show our emotions. Depends upon our cultural background. And so, but he wants you to know that he hurts and it saddens him to see certain things. Maybe if happening to you or the children, it saddens him. It hits him hard. It saddens him to see that he's not able to do certain things and provide for you the way that he wants to. It does wear on him. It does depress him sometimes. And it angers him, not because he's angry at you, it's at himself, because he's not able to provide as he would like to. So he has feelings, and he wants you to know that, and sometimes lean in and help him process or even communicate his feelings. Okay. Number 4, he wants you to be proud of him. He wants you to be proud of him, and it matters. It matters when you, as his wife, the significant person in his life, because for example, when I do talks or presentations or trainings or anything of that kind, I can hear a lot of people say, "Great job. It was so good." And I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. But it matters most to me when my wife comes in and said, "Honey, great job. I see the work you put into this and what it did and how people responded." And just giving, I just feel special, right? So it's really that, he wants you to be proud of him. And that because of your love and you're taking the effort to do that, it really inspires him. It encourages him. It makes him feel like, he's valued. And so he wants you to be proud of him and show that, right? Beam when you see him do certain things. Don't throw him under the bus. Talk up about him. Speak about him well. I love the Proverbs in the Bible says his wife speaks about him well at the marketplace, at the gates in the marketplace, and in the old setting. That was what happened. But that wife spoke, and it speaks about the wife that is truly a virtuous woman and one that to be admired, and that's what she does. And that's a whole different story. But I just want to mention that he wants you to be proud of him. Now, before I share with you the 5th thing every husband wishes his wife knew about him, or about, husbands about them, let me suggest something that's not on my list that I think you would appreciate, right? Or he would appreciate, basically. He would appreciate you finding a way to stimulate conversation and draw things out of him, talk to him, get him out of his head, get him out of his, I can control everything, I can manage this. Get him to share his heart, because you want to hear his heart, don't you? So get him to share his heart, because left to himself, he won't. And he wants you to encourage him and to, in a very nice way, kind way, very helpful way, pull things out of him. Because what gets in his way is his ego, our pride, and just simply being a man. That gets in the way of us sharing that. So you can help us in this regard. But you might be saying, Kingsley, I wish I could. I just don't know what else to do. Well, I want to suggest a product that I've created, and this is a shameless plug, but I think I want to help you. I think it's very helpful. It's a product I've created that would be perfect for this kind of interaction and to pull things out of your husband. And it's called the Connect Strong Conversational Card Deck. It's more than a card deck. It's really a tool that provides deeper connection and more intimacy in your relationship. Now, this deck can be purchased at kingsleygrant.com. I have the link below, kingsleygrant.com/cards. You can go there and find it, or just go to my website and you can actually navigate to where those cards at, and right now you can get a $10 off discount. And if you're listening to this video broadcast at some point in the future, the discount may no longer be in play because it's for a limited time. And I hope you understand that. So you'll get a code that you can use to purchase the card deck. Remember, you're not buying a deck of cards. You're investing in deeper connection and more intimacy. That's what you're investing into when you get these cards. And so again, you can access that product at kingsleygrant.com. If that's all I can remember, cards or just go to the website. You can get it there. Now, with that said, let's discuss the fifth thing that husbands wish their wives would know about them. Your husband wants you to appreciate him. He wants you to appreciate him for the things that he does. And so you may say, well, is that his job? But yes, but he wants you to appreciate the effort he's making, the sacrifices he's making. So King's like, I'm making sacrifice too. Well, hold on. I'll talk more about you next time. But for now, let's focus on your husband. He wants you to know that he exists to serve you and make life easier for everyone, you, him, and family, right? He does desire to show that appreciation for you and your efforts as well. But he wants you to appreciate him, right? Now, I know a big one is also to respect him. He wants you to respect him. Respect is the number one thing I believe every husband wants. Now, I choose to leave that out of the list because we hear that so many times. You have heard that over and over again, but I just wanted to list some other things that you may not hear too often, but he really wants respect. So if I was to put the one overarching thing your husband wants you to know, he wants you to be respectful of him. He wants to be respected, okay? But just for now, he wants you to appreciate him. And number 6, he wants to celebrate you. He wants to celebrate you. Now, he wants to do that both in private and public, right? He loves to be, this is a husband talking about, he wants you to know that you're the source of his happiness. You make him happy. And sometimes he'll even say, what he does is for you. He may not verbalize that, but many times that's what he's working hard because he wants to please you. He wants you to be happy. I hear many times husbands will say to me in a coaching session or a counseling session, I just want her to be happy. I just want her to be happy. And it's not saying happy meaning it's choosing some other thing than the relationship. No, he wants her to be happy in the relationship. So these 6 things I believe every husband wants you to know. And number 1, he wants you to be happy. Number 2, wants you to take care of yourself. Number 3, to know that he has feelings too. Number 4, he wants you to be proud of him. And number 5, he wants you to appreciate him. And number 6, he wants to celebrate you. And that's very important. I want you to make sure you understand that. Now, these 6 things are what I believe every husband wishes his wife, their wives knew. Because I believe there are the pillars that create a support system. The love is the bricks that build that relationship and that bond. Now that you know this, I just want to hear what your thoughts are, Mrs. Wifey. I want you to comment below of your thoughts about this. What's your thoughts? And maybe you want to suggest some things you wish your husband knew about you. You can also comment that, and maybe let's compare notes and see if my next video broadcast have included what you're suggesting. So comment below. Let me hear from you what your thoughts are. And again, as a husband, it's good to know if I did a good job, right? Did I really represent you well? And again, it's not for that, but I just want you to know that. But still, let's have a dialogue about this. Now, comment below if it makes sense. And I'd like to hear from you what your thoughts are on any of these 6 things I've listed. And let's continue the dialogue below, right? Now, before we kind of wrap things up here, again, I want to say, make certain you check the links, right, for the quiz, happiermarriagesecrets.com/quiz, the podcast, happiermarriagesecrets.com/podcast, and then for the cards, I know there's a lot I'm throwing at you, kingsthegrant.com. And so all the links will be provided below, so you can always get that and click on that and go where you want to go, right? Smash that subscribe button. Get the subscribe list going. That's the least I can expect from you after giving you such great value. That's the least you can do. Come on now. You can do that, can't you? I know you will. So thank you in advance for hitting that subscribe button and also clicking that notification bell so you'll be notified of any new uploads that I'll be doing to this channel. So my friend, I want to thank you for taking the time to truly listen and be here with me. It matters to me that you're here. It matters that you listen, and it matters that you comment, and it matters that you hit that subscribe button. With that said, my friend, let's go and make marriages happier again. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay? Looking forward to seeing you then. Take care.